Okay, so what we're doing today is we're working on the grain drill. We're just checking over all the bearings on the gauge wheels. As you can see, I just put a new one on there. The bearing had went out of that one and tore the bearing had went out and we left it go, didn't see it, and it tore out the whole thing where the bearing keeps in there. But what we're actually doing is going through all these and checking out all of them to see if the bearings are out and replacing some that are just bad. Got that one off. We got to put that one back on. But we got some new bearings here to put back in. Them are the bearings that actually go inside the gauge wheels. So we're going to show you how to take one of these apart and actually replace the bearing in there, because as you can see, this one's bad or getting bad. So that's what me and Bill are doing today, Grandpa Bill. So, alright, we can get some tools and we'll show you how to take one of these apart. Okay, so basically here's the drill here. You just take all the bolts out that hold the bearing in there, and you get some pry bars and you pry the two pieces of steel apart so you can get at the bearing. And once we get this apart, which shouldn't really take too much longer, like that. You just take this bearing, which should be the bad one, replace it with a new one. But there's a lot of work to get to it, but it's got to be done. So onward and upward, we'll get a new bearing and show you how to put that on. Okay, so what actually went wrong with this wheel and why the bearing was loose in there is because, as you can see, there's a little bit of wear like right there, and the only reason that did that is, and it's worn on that side too, because you can see where the metal is discolored. The reason it did that is because it must have hit a rock or something and bent that back, and so it loosened up in the center. It actually did start to wear a little bit, but with the new bearing, it should be able to just fit tight and slide right in there. But it was spinning around in there and moving, which was why it was causing that, because you can tell with the old bearing here, if you look at them side by side, this one doesn't have any wear on it because it's obviously brand new looking motor springs. But you can actually tell the difference in them. Even height wise, you can really tell a difference in them. I don't know if you guys can tell, but you probably can't really tell on film. But this one, the new one, actually is a little bit wider because it's not as over. But anyways, so we're going to try to straighten this one out and see if we can get it to fit tight again on there. So do a little hammering on it and hopefully we'll get it figured out. But if not, we'll have to buy another new wheel for it, which I don't think we're going to do, but we should be able to get it. So alright. Okay, so really all I'm doing here to straighten it, I put it in the vise and I clamped it one way just to get the bend back, and then I put it in and clamped it this way just to get some of the bend out of it. It looks pretty good now. Got that thing in there tight, but it should fit up pretty decent now. It looks a lot better than what it did. I'm gonna run it out here and see what it looks like. But there's a new bearing in there, and yeah, it does. It's not perfect. It's not gonna be, but it is what it is. Such is life. Nothing's perfect per se, but it does look a little bit better than what it did for the most part. But this thing's actually going to go in there pretty tight. See if I can get it in here. But there it is. It's not lined up with the other side. I might have to take it back out, but that's just to show you somewhat what it looks like. But that was the problem with this one. It must have hit a rock out in the field or something with it and bent that back in, and as you can see, it was wearing, so it must have even got caught in there. So really no big deal. Just cost us a bearing. I don't know what they cost. They were probably, I think they were like $5-10. Wasn't even, I don't know, they weren't much. But we did pick them up today, but hopefully we can get it tight enough so that bearing doesn't move around in there like it was doing. But it's still loose, so I'm gonna try to tighten it up, see what it looks like. So okay, so I got the wheel put back together. It's on this side over here. What I did is we ended up trying to put it back together, and because it had worn so much, what it actually did is it actually wore the piece of the gauge wheel on the inside. What it actually did is actually when the bearing was spinning in there, because it had got loose, it wore the steel down. So what I did do to fill the gap, because it actually had wore it from it spinning, as I actually just took took a washer just like this, and since it wasn't the right size to fit the bolt, I just took a multi-bit on the drill and actually had made this bigger to actually fit that. I don't know what size it was. I didn't even look really. I just kind of made it fit. And I put it in between there so it would fill up the space, so we wouldn't have to buy the whole new steel piece. Which I don't know. I think the last time that other one, the new one, cost, I think it was like $80. So just to save a little money, and if it does happen to get any worse and falls off, well, then we'll have to fix it then. But for now, that should work, because it's tight. I actually am going to take it back off, because as you can see, I can still move it a little bit, and there is a right down in there, there's a bolt right almost at the tip of my finger that you take a little cotter pin out and tighten that up so you don't have this. But as you can see, new bearing works pretty good. I mean, it's tight, all tight yet, but it works. It'll loosen up when we get it out in the field. But yeah, that's pretty much the whole deal. I got another one taken off right next to it, right there. Took that one off, because that one also had a bearing go out on it. These aren't the actual tires for the drill. We took all the tires off this drill, and we took them and we got all new Bridgestone tires, I believe they were. They were like $150 a piece. They're 12 ply, so the stubbles don't tear them up as much as they did. We actually had, I think it was an 8 ply, or might have been a 10 ply, I don't know. But we got the toughest one we could get for the drill so that the stubbles don't tear it up. And so I'm going to put them back on, but them aren't the original ones, so we're going to get them probably tomorrow. And put them on. And we cleaned out, swept the whole drill all the way out. And just trying to get it all ready, got it all set for beans. Last time we did use it, it was pretty muddy. We were trying to get some rye in, so we're going to get that and get it done. Okay. So actually another thing that we are going to work on is these markers. I don't have the parts, so I'm going to hopefully go get the parts tomorrow. They did have everything I needed in stock. Getting two new blades, one for that side, and a hub like this, because that's not the original hub. That was a Yetter hub that we made work last year because they couldn't get one, or I don't even remember what it was, but that's the whole deal with that. That hub right there is for a Yetter one, and the bearing actually ran out on that, so I did find out these were actually Great Plains markers. As weird as that sounds, but they made markers for these drills. So I did get a hold of them, and they actually have a hub and two blades for this drill. So probably tomorrow you'll see me putting them on. It shouldn't be that big of a job, and I do need to get some pins for that and that one, because that's actually a hitch pin. So I would like to get the right one in there, but you guys get the idea of what I'm doing today. Nothing really too exciting, but yeah, so that's kind of what I'm doing today. But I think I have one more wheel besides the one I took off up there to put on. I think it's that one. That one's moving pretty good and the bearing's junk on that one. But you guys get the idea of what I'm doing on this drill today. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Another thing that I do want to do is we did get some of these, I forget what brand they were. These might be maybe Martin spike closing wheels. We're actually going to try them out and see how they work. We're going to put one on the drill and two on the planter, just to see if it really does make any kind of a difference of any sort. But I'll actually show you guys how to put that on. Probably not today, but tomorrow before I work on the markers. I don't know if you guys know anything about it or about the spike closing wheels. If you do, I appreciate any comments of what you guys have had results on them and see what actually they do, but we're going to find out this year. So that's about it for today. Just finish up putting them other couple of bearings in, and then the drill is almost ready to go, other than putting the tires back on, the new tires that we had ordered, and that's about it, really, other than the markers and finishing up that, and greasing it. This thing is ready to put seeds in the ground. Finally done with this. We do have a little bit of work to do on our 1780 John Deere 15-inch row. I think it's a 611 maybe, yeah. 30-inch rows that we use for planting corn. You lift the boxes up. We gotta fix the marker on that, because I think Grandpa hit something with it. The shear pin broke on it, so we got to put a shear pin in that, clean it out, change the cups over to corn, lift the boxes up and all that. But anyways, that's enough of me babbling on about that stuff. That is pretty much all we have to do to get ready for planting, other than this red ball sprayer we bought. There's a cylinder up here, right there. Over there, that one was bent. We do have another one on the way. It was $350, but other than that, this thing is pretty much ready to go. We do have some nozzles to fix, which was stupid. We actually broke it pulling out of the barn here. Hit the side, got too close. No big deal, but them should go right on. Got the 7520 started the other day. But yeah, so if you like my videos, I'll have more to come, and I'd appreciate it if you would comment, rate, and subscribe to the channel. Anything is greatly appreciated. Tell your friends about the channel or whatever. The more subscribers, the better. So if you like my videos, please do it. Thank you very much.